All right, we are live yet again for the blue game, and the blue final five is heading into tribal council. So we will be turning this around to take them in as they file in. We have Casey, Ethan, Francis, Mel, and Connor. And we are filing into our new and improved tribal council area. Host Kelsey has created a carpet of greenery on the floor so that it's a little less squishy and muddy.
Okay, we'll be bringing in our jury. We have Caitlin, Anthony, Andy, and Joe voted out at our last tribal council. Okay, so the last tribal council, obviously there was lots of votes for Joe and one vote for Casey. Casey, when you see your name pop up, is that concerning at the idea, well, maybe if somebody told Joe to vote for you, you think you could be next?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not every time, but a lot of the times whenever your name gets thrown out once, it starts getting thrown out again later on. So I wasn't too pleased to see that, but I mean, he had to vote for someone, and he chose to vote for me, and I'm sure we'll get to talk about it at some point. I'm not 100% sure why, and all I can say is I've been loyal this whole time, and to the people that I'm working with, and I hope it doesn't, I hope I don't see it again.
Are you confident that the social relationships that you've made so far in this game will see you through this time?
I feel pretty confident in my social relationships. I feel like I've put a lot of work into those, and I'm definitely hopeful.
We had that one very exciting tribal council where we had 2 idols played a while back, and then really just no talk of idols or advantages here recently. Is that still a topic of discussion for you all?
Not really. We were concerned about idols past that vote, but Melanie was kind enough to read us the note that she got from her original idol, and it said that they expired at when there were 6 people left in the game. So at this point, it's our belief that all idols cannot be used.
Although normally the host will specify it's the last chance, and you didn't, so I think we're pretty confident about that. Okay.
So, not sure on idols, but Connor, thankfully, does not need one as he won immunity. Connor, you just breezed through that challenge. Is that just come naturally to you, or were you fighting because you had an inclination that you might need the immunity?
I was absolutely fighting. I never felt safe. I've had my name written before, and that was a juicy tribal. And I felt like I had a pretty good strategy going into that competition, and I'm glad it paid off.
Mel, you had kind of said at the last tribal council that you were very happy to have won that last challenge because you were a little unsure but a little worried. Obviously, you didn't pull out the win in this one. What's your worry level at right now?
I think I needed to win that last challenge. So I think I think this is the end of my game.
Okay. Then what's your pitch? What's your ploy?
Well, I definitely had conversations with everybody about who they thought the biggest threat was moving forward, who they and talked through the end game with each of them individually. But I didn't get a lot of traction. But I am going to vote how I said that I'm going to vote. So if anyone would like to take a move, I have made my pitches. I have fought a good fight. I have played hard. I think one of the strengths that I have in this game is being able to tell where people are at and just knowing when it's probably me.
Okay. So does that mean that whoever you vote for tonight is the person that you think think is the biggest threat left in the game?
No.
Okay. What are you basing your vote off of then, if you want to share? Social connection.
There are like several things, I guess, but like who I think other people might be willing to vote for, and also loyalty to people as well.
Francis, where are you at right now in this game? It seems that you are, sitting in the middle. Doesn't mean you're actually in the middle of what's going on, but just kind of like, what is the general discussion at the scrambling area? Was it crazy? Was it calm? What was the kind of vibe of the scrambling?
I don't think it was too crazy. I think at this point people have started to talk about long-term plans. So it definitely was, a little back and forth discussion, but it was not nearly as crazy as some of the early merge votes. I mean, with 5 people and, one of them's immune, if you're talking to another non-immune person, well, there's only 2 names that you can pitch, right? So just by sheer numbers, it's not as crazy. For me personally, I don't know. I mean, a tiny part of me is like nervous because I'm like the last Ossipee. I'm the only original dark blue sitting here with 4 light blues, so it's definitely crossed my mind. Like, maybe that was the plan all along. But I guess I'm feeling as confident as one can safely feel in the situation. But at the same time, you can never be too confident. You always have to kind of think about the possibility that you might get votes. So definitely still in my mind, but we'll see.
Anybody else have anything else to share? All right, we will just go ahead and get to the vote. Connor, you can start us off.
Okay, so we will step away, as we always do during the silent voting time, and we will head up this hill and catch up a little bit. Okay. All right, just getting far enough away to where we're out of earshot. Let's see, Mel sounding pretty, I don't think defeated is the right word, but kind of almost accepting, as though she might think like it is her and there's not much she can do. Obviously at this point in the game with the 5 players, Mel is sitting as kind of the lone last person of the, duos alliance from the merge stage of the game. The other 3 people in that alliance being her mom, Andy, and then brothers Anthony and Joe, all of whom are sitting on the jury right now. So she is sitting next to the 4 people that literally were willing to, kind of like draw a line in the sand and be like, hey, it's us 4 and we're aligned and we're voting together for the last several votes. So we have, of course, Francis, Connor, Ethan, and Casey that have been, voting together for several rounds. So it would, of course, have been a hard kind of battle to win for Mel, since the 4 have been voting together, which, means they are probably most likely aligned. I do know that Mel alluded to voting for someone that other people would be willing to vote for, and was not like a commentary on like any player or anything in particular. She did say that, she was willing to vote someone that someone else would be willing to vote. And it is my understanding that that person is Casey. So I think in the game, people are kind of assessing Casey as like a big jury threat and a big potential winner threat. And I know Ethan apparently has also kind of been thinking about that. And so Ethan, I believe, was willing to try and vote Casey this time around, potentially with Mel. But I don't know that the numbers are there, and I think Ethan and certainly Mel might have realized that. So, interestingly, I mean, I feel like obviously there's several paths to the end, and there's A lot of different kind of journeys these players have gone through. Yeah, it's like interesting to me that Ethan's name isn't being brought up because I feel like he's playing a really good game. It's also interesting to see or to hear Ethan kind of talk about the idol stuff. We know that he has one, and we know that it is not eligible to be played right now, but I don't know if he's gonna like reveal that now, that he has an idol, or what the situation is with that. So I wonder if kind of once we go to the tribal council area, if he'll like pretend to play it for himself or pull it out or not pull it out, or like I don't know. We might see it, we might not. So keep an eye out for any movement during the classic, if anyone has this or that question. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. The players, I got confirmation. The players do not know if it is a Final 2 or a Final 3 yet. There has been some speculation on what it might be, but they are not exactly sure. Although the jury did start at 9, so some players are putting 2 and 2 together on what that might mean for how many people will be in the final. So, you know. I'm sorry, my energy's down. I'm a little tired. We don't get much sleep out here. Obviously, we get a little more than the players, I think, but still not a lot as we're working these games, so I am dragging a little bit. But I'm going to have an energy drink so that I'm a little more peppy by the time we get back up that hill for the next challenge. So, let me see. Casey is heading out. All right, so Casey is the last one to vote right now. Yeah. I am trying to figure out what else I can tell y'all. I don't know. Sorry, my brain is really fried. Just... Sorry, y'all. Alright, we're just gonna head on down the way here slowly. Rejoin Tribal Council. If y'all think of any questions, feel free to ask. But, you know, as we dwindle down in numbers, not as much to talk about because, like, not as many players are literally in the game anymore. So, you know. Okay. We are heading back in. Players are silently waiting for the voting to finish. Our jury is just sitting on and taking everything in. They're not allowed to interact with the players. They're not allowed to talk. Someone found my yes band. I'm very excited about because I'd lost it. This is the only thing our jury gets to watch in the game now, so obviously a big source of entertainment for them. All right, and there goes Kelsey to grab the voting box and tally up those votes. Here goes Sam. Wow. Sam is just making it look easy at this point. Don't be fooled. That fire is roaring.
Ethan, 1 vote Melanie. Melanie, that's 2 votes Melanie, 1 vote Ethan. Melanie, that's enough. Please go to your vote. Melanie. The tribe is focused.
Oh my god. Sorry to tears. All right, and we're just following Mel out of the tribal council area and on up this hill so that we can get some final thoughts from her before she heads to Ponderosa. All right, so we're still on live. We're just gonna make our way up that hill.
Oh, what a fun game. I was very impressed with all the quality of the challenges. It was really, felt authentic. We got to play a lot of really iconic challenges. So I loved that. I also, you know, the weather was challenging, but I kind of love that too. You know, we made it through some adversity, and that's part of what the experience is, and that connects us. And we also really connected to each other by talking about our charities and why they were meaningful to us. So I really feel like I'm coming out of this with some people that I'll be able to continue having in my life. And also a strengthened relationship with my mom, and also getting to see her in a different way through watching her interact with people, where, you know, first of all, I don't see my mom very often because we live in different states. So I mostly just see her with the whole rest of my family in like at family gatherings, like at Christmas or something like that. So getting to see her be social with people outside of our family is actually very different for me, and I liked hearing her stories and what she was doing, and also seeing people when she was on the different tribe, like talking with her, and like I felt like a lot of people were rooting for her, and I thought that was really fun. So overall I really had a wonderful experience. I'm really excited to see what happens. I'm rooting for all of them, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next.
Awesome. Well, you did make it all the way to the final 5. So you got to experience the vast majority of this game. Tons to be proud of. You had, a recent immunity win. You were in on the
let me do a physical challenge and win that. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear maybe what's the thing that you're most proud of about yourself out here.
I mean, there's a lot to be proud of, I think. I don't know if it's like something that I'm proud of. I just like to make connections with people and to like make friends and learn from people. So like that's a weird thing to be like proud of, but like that's the thing that I'm excited about out of it.
Sure.
So I'll go with that.
Like mother, like daughter, I'm just gonna say. You'll have to watch these interviews together. But like, wow, the parallels. That's awesome. And then what is maybe one thing you learned about yourself out here?
It was meaningful to me to win the individual challenge. And it was a physical challenge. Like I've won immunities in the past, but it's been a long time other than like, it was nice. I feel like I surpassed people's expectations of me in challenges. Just the one individual challenge win, but also like being in, like getting points for my tribe or being part of it, like that, like part of a tribe win. That always feels good because internally I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking around. I'm like, there's some like pretty athletic looking young people. Like you never know. You have those self-doubts, and it's like, no, actually, I can do things, and I'm in the mix with everyone. And I do think also that all the people that are still left in the game also are in the mix for being the winner, and I love that. So yeah, I'm proud of that win.
Absolutely, as you should be. And before we let you go, you and your mom are playing for a fabulous cause, the Alzheimer's Foundation. So if this is your chance to just shout them out and anything you'd like to share about it and why. Yeah.
Yeah, so we picked the Alzheimer's Association because my dad did have early onset Alzheimer's, and the Alzheimer's Association helped, I think especially my mom, like just trying to navigate this world of complicated healthcare and like all sorts of planning, getting support. She was talking this morning about like a conference that she went to where my dad met someone else with Alzheimer's for the first time, and he was able to get support and connected through that. Also just hearing about the resources that exist. They are, advocating for research and just trying to find cures for this terrible disease. So we are happy to be able to kind of push that message forward that this is actually a disease that impacts like so many people. When I mention it to people, there's always people have other associations where it's close to home for them as well. And so it was really meaningful for me and my mom to be able to come together and be thinking of my dad through this whole experience. And yeah, I thought about him a lot. So.
That's wonderful. Well, Mel, thank you so much. I'm going to let you head on over to Ponderosa, and we'll see you at the next Tribal Council, okay? Right. All right. So we're letting Mel go on up the way there and get some food and, ingrain herself in the jury. And we will be back with another individual immunity challenge after the Red Game Tribal Council that's taking place in like a minute. So see y'all in a little bit.